How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. How are the babies?
Oh, they're good here. Let me
Oh, can't
let
wait.
me show you. They're just doing their little. The wife took them to the grocery store, and she was successful. They're good boys. They don't really cry a whole lot here. This is David. Say hi.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
That's David, and then that's Daniel.
Hi.
Hey, who's that?
Hi. Oh my gosh, they're so cute.
They're little cuties, right? They're
So
so much fun. We got a little playroom here for them. We just put
yeah,
on like the little cartoons and stuff, but that's them.
that is so cute. Oh my gosh. How crazy is it to have twins?
It's wild. It really is. It's like people, because me and my wife, we talk all the time. Like people are like, "Oh man, twins! Oh, I wish." I'm like, it's great. I love it, but man, the amount of work,
Yeah.
it's really overwhelming, especially because we don't really have any help. We're pretty much just solo. We she has a sister that will come over every now and again. But I mean, every now and again is like twice a month kind of
Yeah.
thing for some help. So we don't really have anybody, and we don't really trust anybody either
Right. Yeah.
because there's so much. She has them on like their routine, and they're very like. My wife's very OCD, which is kind of a good thing with twins.
Yeah. I was gonna say you need that.
Yeah, right. And but man, I mean, I love it. I love it. But it is definitely a lot of work for sure. A lot of pressure, but it's good. It's good pressure.
Do you get to
Uh,
bring them to the gym at all, or are they
y-
still little?
yeah, yeah. We took them. The first couple times we took them, they were like really not having it. Like they were just like screaming the whole time. So we're like, okay, let's just wait for them to get a little bit older, and then we'll bring them back. And we brought them back like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they were just I was teaching an MMA class, and they're like dudes like picking each other up and throwing each other on the ground, and Daniel's just like walking around like, look at these giant people falling everywhere, and he was loving it. So no crying, and so we're probably gonna bring him back again soon.
I always wonder, I hear like mixed reviews. Either fighters are hell no, my kids can will never fight. I'm doing this so they don't have to fight. Or heck yes, I want them to be, learn how to fight and be like me and be strong and all the positivity. Which side are you on?
Ooh, that's a good question. I actually, you know what? I'm kind of unsure. I'm like in that unsure stage with it. Like, I want them to train for sure. There's no doubt about that. Definitely want them to train, know how to defend themselves, work on their athleticism, have community and like brotherhood with guys at the gym that they train with. You know, but in terms of like them doing what I do, like fighting, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's tough.
Yeah.
I feel like once they get a little older, I'll have a better feel about it. But like right now that they're like little cute, adorable babies,
Yeah.
I'm probably leaning more towards the no. Um,
And that's funny because like your family and everybody who loves you sees you as that same adorable baby, no matter how old you are. So sort of get a glimpse of what they're going through when they watch you fight.
yeah, I could kind of see like my mom. There's nothing more that my mom would want for me to just not fight ever again and move out of California and just be on the farm with her up in Oregon in the middle of nowhere, where you gotta drive 3 hours to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
There's nothing more that she would want than that.
So you've got a fight coming up. What were your first thoughts when you got the opponent?
I didn't even really, I like Mel, because I've been asking Mel like, hey, like I'm good to go. Sign me up whenever, but because it was either gonna be MMA or bare knuckle. And a lot of people were kind of pushing me towards MMA. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do MMA. But a lot of the dates were like weird, and I wasn't able to really get any opponents for a minute. And then people, because I'm kind of like in that tweener, I'm an in-betweener, I'm really big for 55, but I'm like kind of on the small side for 170. So I'm like in that like 160, 165 kind of tweener stage. So I'm like, I was kind of asking for, catch weight, and then people didn't really want to do catch weight. So I was like, all right, it's MMA was kind of getting tough. And then Mel, he's like, yo, I got somebody for you at the weight you want. And I didn't even really look. I was just like, sign me up, send me the contract over. And then after I signed and everything, then I started to look, and I was like, oh, okay, sweet. This guy's ranked. He's super tough. He's been through a bunch of I think this is like his eighth or ninth bare knuckle fight. I'm like, okay, cool. So the guy's like a veteran, and he's been in some really, really tough dog fights too. So I was happy about that. And yeah, so and I was kind of cool with it.
What did you think of that first fight? Being in the Trigon and the whole new promotion, bare knuckle. What was that first experience like for you?
Well, it was kind of truthfully, like it was definitely not my like if you saw it for me, like I probably shouldn't have taken that fight. Like I wasn't really like I wasn't super healthy in terms of like I had like a lot of aches and pains. My cardio was a little bit not where I would like it to be, like I was more towards like that's kind of how my cardio would be like the start of camp going into the fight. So that I wasn't really stoked about that. It was at elevation as well. And my cardio wasn't where it usually is, so that wasn't really ideal. The opponent was got like stylistically, it was like one of those opponents where it was like, he was very patient, doesn't like he's not he was an opponent that doesn't really make action. If I wanted to, I could have made that fight so boring. Like we would have thrown the whole fight probably like 20 punches. It would have been like just a jab contest. So ideally the opponent was like and it made me it like kind of forced me out of yeah, have you ever seen that? Like you see a guy and it kind of like forces him the type of opponent he has, like it forces like I'm trying to make it because this is entertainment. I'm trying to make really exciting fights, So I kind of felt like I had to press the action, and it actually kind of put me in danger too because stylistically he was a counter guy. And he caught me twice with really clean. He caught me in the first one in the back of the head, and it like threw me forward. I wasn't rocked or anything, but it counted as a knockdown, which or the ref counted it as a knockdown, and I was surprised. I should have. I was gonna complain and be like, "Yo, ref, like, did you not see that hit me in the back of the head and it pushed me forward?" But he started doing the countdown, and I was just like, I didn't feel like arguing. Like I'm trying to stay focused on my task. So I was like, all right, whatever. And then he actually the second time I got knocked down was actually perfect. Like I got to give it to him. He caught me coming back out after my body jab. I was going a little bit too low on that body jab. So just some MMA habits that I've had to kind of train out of me a little bit. Like there's some things that you can do for MMA that you cannot do for bare knuckle. That was definitely one of them. And he caught me perfect when I was off balance and caught me. So that was a real knockdown. But if it wasn't for that first, if the ref called it the first knockdown as the slip, which is what it was, I think I would have won that fight. So it was like losing by a hair is always a lot harder than losing by a mile,
Yeah.
So but I'm just excited to get back in there because I'm in much better form. Like I'm not having to cut as much weight, which is huge. I feel like my body doesn't like, especially now being a dad, like my body just doesn't like I'm like I'm losing water like less. It really showed in that last fight, MMA fight when I fought the Mongolian. like, man, my body does not do well losing as much water as it did back when I was like 21, 22, you know? So I don't know.
What about the Trigon? Did that did you feel like a big difference in there? Just the shape of the fighting
I
style?
I kind of digged it. Like I was cool with it. It's definitely forces to action. Like you can't, but that's kind of my style. Like my style isn't really like just circle, 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 faint, circle, circle, circle. Like some guys, you know, there are a lot of guys that Trigon is gonna be horrible for them. But for me, it's actually good for me, I think, in terms of how I fight. But I definitely know a couple, I know some guys that are great fighters, but I'm like, please don't fight in that thing because it's just stylistically with how they move, it's not gonna do them good at all.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
I always like to ask people about the very first time they threw a punch. If you remember what that feeling was like, what the circumstances were. I mean, it could be,
Yeah.
way before you were doing it for a sport.
I remember it was actually it's kind of a funny story. So there's this guy. His name, and I still follow him on Instagram to this day. He's a monster of a man now, so I definitely wouldn't want to punch him now. I think he played football for Florida, I think, collegiate. I mean, I'm talking about like a monster of a dude, like 6'8", 340 pounds, like a big boy. But we were in kindergarten in Florida, and I don't think I had thrown a punch yet. I was like 5 years old. And we're in the playground, and we were playing by the sand, and he kept like taking my stuff, and I was like trying to get it back from him, like, and he was like hiding it from me, like I'm trying to grab it from him, and he's like turning and running away, and I just remember I started to get really like flustered, and I just remember it because I threw a right punch, and I punched him in the throat, and he started like choking like crazy and like fell to the ground and like he couldn't breathe. And I'm such a sensitive kid, and I've never I'm like 5. I've never hurt anybody before. So I freaked out and I started crying my eyes out. And then the teachers brought us in, even called our parents in and everything. His mom and my mom came, met, and handled the situation. And then after that, he became like, I guess, our moms like started talking to each other, and then we became like best friends from like 5 to probably until I left, like 8, 9 years old.
That's cool.
So it's
He
the
would,
first time.
does he know that that's the first time you ever like, do you guys still talk? I know you said you follow him, but do you chit chat at all or?
Oh, I haven't been able. I know he just got married a little. I kind of, I don't like stalk him, but like I kind of follow him. I follow him on Instagram, so I see like what he's doing. He just got married like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I sent a message, but I don't think he's really on Instagram a whole lot. Like, so, but no, I haven't spoken to him in like 3 years.
You'll have to send him
Oh.
this interview.
Yeah, yeah, I should. I'm gonna shoot it to his DM, see if he sees
Yeah.
it.
So I also like to ask some non-fight related questions. So I'm curious, are you binge watching anything right now?
Um, I actually just started. That's funny. I haven't really been able to watch a whole lot of shows just because of being a twin dad and getting ready for fights and having to work full time. So, but at night, I started watching Vikings again.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm watching Vikings, and then before that, it was just movies usually. Like I'm more of a movie guy, but no, Vikings is a really great show.
What's the last movie you watched?
Last movie I watched was what was it? It was on Netflix. I think it was with Tom Hardy. Um Havoc.
Okay.
Havoc on Netflix. And then before that, it was that last Venom movie. The last Venom movie he made. Tom Hardy's been in everything lately. I'm like, bro, how does this guy have time to make a season everything? He's all over the place.
What about when you were a kid growing up, before you thought about fighting, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Easy question. James Bond. I was obsessed with James Bond, like to the point where like I had a blazer all the time. I have picture. I'll send you a picture. I had
Yeah,
like young me. I was always wearing a blazer. Um, Always had a little lighter gun.
that's amazing.
Um, all the time. Like you couldn't get me away from it.
Yeah,
Like I would sleep in my blazer and I had the gun under my pillow, just like James Bond did.
that's hilarious. I would not have guessed that.
Yep, yep, yep. It's true.
If you
True
had to,
story.
if you had to eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Eggs.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think eggs are like one of the best foods ever. It's a huge It's been a staple for me for like the longest time, and they're just probably the best food we can eat. Like eggs, butter, uh, meat, steak, chicken, fish. Like those animal, but it's really good for you. But for sure, eggs probably
Yeah,
because
and you could,
I'd be ripped and I'd be like okay, you know what I mean?
yeah, and you could prepare it lots of different ways so it wouldn't get boring.
Yeah, scrambled eggs over easy.
Yeah. Um, what is a weird hobby, if you have one, that people don't know about, or something interesting that you like to do outside of fighting?
Mm, It's a good question. Kind of the hobbies that I was like I like to do a little bit like I kind of like to do everything, anything fun. Well, lately my hobby's been running.
Okay.
Getting back into my road work routine. I kind of got away from it from a little bit because everyone's like, "Oh, you know, your knees and you're gonna get your bad knees and you're gonna get hurt if you're not running." Like you're at a big disadvantage. So running's definitely the hobby I've been more into lately. Um, but I like gardening, kind of like I like doing like garden work. Like I like you know, just like the old school stuff. Like I love chopping wood. I love you know, digging in dirt, digging ditches and plucking weeds and planning stuff. Like I do like that, which is kind of people probably don't see me doing, but yeah, it's really like peaceful.
It seems like a calming activity.
Yeah, and I need it because it's once my patience wears thin, I go from like the super nice guy to like Tommy's not there. It's like, whew, I'm no longer me, and I now am your worst nightmare.
Well, I appreciate you so much for your time. I love talking to you, and good luck in your next fight.
Oh, thanks, Amy. You already know. With for you, anything? Are you gonna be there or are you going
No,
through?
I don't think so, not this time. I moved to Texas. I'm doing trading cards now, working for
Oh,
Top.
sick.
Yeah, so it's hard for me to get away. So,
Yeah, yeah, no, I feel you. It's tough, especially, and you probably know how it's in California. It's like they don't. I don't know whatever the powers that be here. Like they do not want you having kids. That's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
They do not want you having any time at all. And it's like the bill. There's the bills here. It's like
yeah.
it's crazy because you lived here for a long time, right?
Yeah, my whole life. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild here. And it's getting like I went to get the grocery store the other day to get some raw milk. $20 a
Ooh,
gallon of raw milk. $20.
that's insane. Just buy a
Like
cow.
just exactly like just stuff like that. Like I don't know. Just California. I love California, but I don't know how long California is gonna be in my cards either. So
I
Texas
really
is a
like
good move.
I really liked Vegas because
Yeah.
it was close enough to still enjoy California, but it was
Yep.
Nevada prices.
Yep, yep, yeah. No, I've thought about Vegas too for sure, just because all the good. There's so many good places to train out there too. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would probably go with probably with Nixick
Yeah.
or Bubba Jenkins
Oh
guy. What's
yeah.
his name?
Yeah.
Cobra or no
Yeah.
Dewey?
Dewey Cooper.
Dewey.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two would be probably
Yeah.
where I would go.
I've been to both of those gyms, both nice gyms. You could
Yeah.
easily go to both too. They're so close.
Oh, are
They're
they?
very friendly with cross training. So
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, that's probably where I would go. I like John Wood too, because I know Khalil's over there, and
Yeah.
So, of
All right. Well, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Good
course.
luck. I will be watching for sure.
Oh, sweet.
All right.
It's gonna be a good one for sure.
Oh,
He
it always
like
is. Right.
stylistically too. It's gonna be like that. Like lately, I've been like a fight of the night, just every time. So
What do you mean lately? Always.
always fight of the
Always.
night. Yeah, always. But lately for sure. But I feel like this time it's gonna be performance of the
Yeah. All
night
right. There we go.
versus fight
Okay.
of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. I'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye bye.